And then you put it all together and it sounds like this. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jonathan Warren and I'm back with part 2 of the Boogie Woogie violin lesson. Thank you to everybody who's reached out to me so far on Instagram and Facebook. I got a chance to hear from you and I'm so glad to know that my violin lesson videos are making an impact on your playing. You gave me a lot of new ideas for more videos that I'm going to be posting very soon, but the most requested video was a part 2 on the Boogie Woogie Shuffle. In the last video, I showed you how to play the Boogie Woogie Shuffle and I played a couple of different variations on the chord progression, but in the video, I only taught you how to play the chords and how to do the strum bowing. So some of you pointed out you really wanted to know how to do the other variations, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. So we're going to learn the melody variation, or variation number 2, that sounds a little bit like this. And we're going to learn the Boogie Woogie Shuffle Slide. At least that's what I'm calling it. And it sounds like this. So let's get started with variation number 2. So for both of these variations, we're going to be focusing on what you already know from video 1, which is your chord shapes. And that's going to be a C and an E note for the C chord, an F and an A note for the F chord, and a G and a B note for the G chord. So your low string is going to be a C and your higher string is going to be an E for that first chord. So that's where we'll start. On the low string is where we're going to be playing our melody, and it sounds like this. And that strum bowing pattern is going to be 2 accents on the down bow and 1 long accent on the up bow. But notice how I'm keeping that strum bowing going. If you don't remember what that means, check out the first video where I go into a little bit more detail about the strum bowing technique. So that's the basic melody. You can add a little bit of a flourish between the C and B note on that long up bow. This is based on piano players and the way they will twinkle the little ivory keys when they play the Boogie Woogie. So it might sound like this. Just something fun. Then we're going to go ahead and add the top string, which is going to be an E note again for this chord. And we're going to just add those on the accented notes. So not the ghost notes, but the accented notes. So the 2 down accents and the 1 long accent. And it's going to sound like this. So that's the basic pattern for the melody. And then what we're going to do is just take that exact same pattern and move it to the other chords. So the intervals of the melody that you're playing on that bottom string is going to be the same for every single chord, just starting on the bottom string note of that chord. So the bottom string note of the first chord is going to be a C, the bottom string note of the second chord is going to be an F, and then a G for that last chord. So for the C it sounds like, for the F it sounds like, and the G chord for both of these variations is going to feel exactly like the C chord. It's just the next string's up. So it's going to feel exactly like the C chord. And there you have it. That's variation number 2. Now let's move on to variation number 3, which is the shuffle. And this one is probably the easiest once you know how it's done. On the bottom string, you're always going to start with your bottom string note, which in this first chord is once again a C. Then you're going to go up a whole step, which is the same as your open D string, and then 2 half steps. So there you go. So C. That's what your bottom string is going to be doing, but you're going to be shifting. So every single note is going to be played by that third finger. So starting on the C, tune it with your open D, and then half step, go. And that's all there is on the bottom string. So now the top string, you're going to start on your E note, which is your top string note for the first chord. And then you're just going to go half step, half step, half step. Only half steps on the top string. Same pattern though. And you're going to be shifting for this as well. Then you just put them together. There you go. That first shift is probably the hardest one because your third finger is moving by a whole step and your first finger is shifting only by a half step. And that's all there is to that third variation, the Boogie Woogie Shuffle Slide. And then you put it all together and it sounds like this. Yeah. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like and share it and subscribe, and leave me a comment and shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook or even on YouTube. I read all of them and I get back to you. Send me a message and let me know what you want to learn. I'll see you next time.